Hey yo, what's up, guys? You man, Young Chisto. Yes, sir. Y'all know what's up, man. Troopers. And today we're gonna have this is channel, right? This channel, my goal is just to talk to you guys about stuff that I've seen, stuff that I've experienced. You know, man, your man is getting quote unquote older. I'm turning 30 this year, man. That's crazy. So for some of y'all, might be even an unk. For most of y'all, I'm a big bro, you know. So I'm like, hey, I gotta share some knowledge. I gotta share some sauce that I've been gathering through all these years. You know what I mean? So what I realized, and I think this is the whole thing that people call matrix and whatever, but what I realized that society, right? Stay hydrated, man. Always stay hydrated, you get me? Society always got this thing that you've been marketing to us, at least as young men. If you look at music videos and stuff, and I might be a little bit guilty of that too, I ain't gonna lie, but you know, it's like, it becomes a case of who started it, you know? And it's not about that, it's about, are we gonna cut the chain? So when I was younger, right, I grew up in a very Christian family. My mom is very, very religious. Took us to church every single week, and yeah, I had, you know, two little sisters and a half. And one thing that I remember when I was very, very young, I remember because my mama, like I said, she was very religious. So I had a very, you could say, averse relationship with weed, in a way that I thought the weed was like the devil lettuce. So that's why they used to call it devil lettuce. And I remember being like a young teen, you know, I'm a young sister, like on 13, 14. I was like, yo, man, I was never gonna try some weed. I'm never gonna smoke weed and everything. But one thing that happened is very funny. It was very interesting. My favorite musician, right, is Lil Wayne. And you could go back to maybe that would like, you know, having no dads and stuff like that. But I used to look up, and I still do, I guess. But mostly at that time, I really looked up to rappers like Lil Wayne and singers, and they were living this lifestyle. You know, they was living this lifestyle that, quote unquote, looking back now, it's pretty toxic. But back in the days, when you're young, man, you just think like, man, that's the life, man. These guys are getting girls, they getting all the cars. Ain't not wrong with cars, man. Get your cars up. But you know, they doing all these drugs and all of that. So I just subconsciously, I was idolizing this as a young J, you know, as a young pup. And I was like, man, this is the goal. So at 15, right, I remember like, I was very lost because I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know. But I always had a passion for music, right? So I always had a passion for music. But one thing is that subconsciously seeing those things made me even have to choose like the rapper. You know, maybe I could have been like a violinist, who knows? Most likely not, I'll probably be a rapper. But my point was that those things, of course, and they do it to market it, don't get it wrong. So I'm not throwing stones or judging or anything. But what I want us to think about, at least once you, my little young trooper, man, think about, is that a lot of things that you see, right, a lot of things that you consume do affect it, do actually impact the way you think. And yeah, I started watching Lil Wayne and other rappers, and behold, I don't know if it was 18 or 19, but I did actually start smoking weed, you know what I mean? Started drinking and doing actually a lot of hard drugs later on. That's something I'm very proud about, but I can speak about it now because I came out the other side and have friends that I've quote unquote lost in the process. When I say lost, they got like so addicted and never like really came out, or even friends that got schizophrenic and stuff, you know. And all this, when I think about it, it comes down to the stuff that we were consuming as young teens. We were like, quote unquote, the media was glorifying. That's how I realized that at the end of the day, this chasing pleasure thing is very like empty, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you guys, as a young nigga, okay, I won't say I'm a YN, but at least as a big bro right now, that has done all that shit, you know what I mean? I'm talking to you guys as someone that has done it. I've been in the field, I've had the parties, I've done my share, I've had the girls, all that part. And it's like, at the end of the day, yes, it is fun, you get pleasure, but it's very like fleeting, very empty, you know. The most memorable times in my life is when I actually did something that lasted, had a bigger impact, you know. Like having sex with someone that you don't really know, like a quote unquote one night stand, is like jerking off. Yeah, yeah. Hey, if anyone of y'all still jerking off, y'all gotta stop that shit, man. No fapping, bro. 2025 gang, we gotta stop that shit. It's like basically fapping, but premium. You know what I mean? It feels good, but it's like after when you're done, you're like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll be in the act, and I'll be like, while I'm in the act, I'll be thinking like, the fuck am I doing? This just feels like training, you know? Like I'm just moving my hips up and down. Like this does not make sense because it's like I don't care about this person doesn't care about me. It's very like shallow and empty, but at the same time I was trapped in this phase, in this word, at least for me, that I had to do it, or no, I didn't have to, but you get me, like it was kind of a way of showing that I'm the man, you know what I mean? Until I say fuck it, I gotta stay true to what I'm feeling, you know. I gotta stay true to my beliefs and go back and find what I really value. And slowly I managed to cut all, you know, the drugs and the fapping. A lot of the girls I cut too. I'm still struggling. I think lust is the ultimate boss though. Lust is definitely the ultimate boss when it comes to men. And that's why I look by my young niggas like, don't start. That's the best way, you know, like the best way to cut a temptation, just not to even start, not even to get introduced to it, than to have to use your willpower later, man. That's the best way. That's why I think sometimes God be telling us, man, do not do this, do not do. I think it was for our own good, but that's another topic. Anyways, that's the thing. So society be telling us that all these things are worth chasing, right? And the things that are very worth chasing, I read a quote that is like, the things that are most expensive are what they are what we are, what they are free. You know what I mean? So I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm in some crutches right now. I got injured running, so basically I can't walk right now, right? And man, it sucks not to walk, man. And it's like those are the things that a lot of us have for free, we take for granted. You know what I mean? The things that you could usually buy, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not the ones that change, like they really make an impact like that. Let me give you guys an example, right? One of the things that really made an impact on me once when I started having street shows in the middle of Oslo, like just me and my friend, and the impact that it had on me, it wasn't just, okay, you know, I'm getting known and marketing, just like connecting with people, like knowing that my music actually made that day better, making them dance and forget about their problems, at least for those 20-30 minutes that it was, you know what I mean? That made a way bigger impact than 20 other chicks that I might have smashed, you know what I mean? Like that was very, very fleeting. That's the definition of fleeting. If you guys don't know, you gotta go check out what that word means. We're getting a little wind right now, huh? I like that. Normally we don't have no wind here in Oslo, man. Not wind, I mean sun. So it's good when you got a little bit of sun and wind, you know, you get that little breeze, that little California vibe. But anyway, so that's what I was thinking, guys, is like we need to, for real, analyze what we put in our minds, and that comes from me too. When I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself too, man. Y'all gotta notice that. We are tribe, man. We are troopers, and we gotta hold ourselves accountable too, and really, really like understand that the game is not the short-term thing. It's very short-term displeasure thing. It's like eating a candy. Oh, you feel good for 30, 15 minutes, or even less, and then what? You back on scrolling and shit. The game is to make things that have a bigger impact, that make you feel good for longer. That's why when I changed it from like, I had a little transformation when I was 25, man. That's almost 5 years ago. That's crazy. But I had a little transformation when I was 25. That's when I started a 100-day challenge. I quit the weed. It took me a while, though. I'm not gonna lie. It took me maybe like 1 or 2 years to quit the weed because I was a chronic smoker, man. It took me a little bit, but I quit the weed. I replaced the weed with the training. I try to replace, you know, I guess going out with more productive stuff, like being in the studio, making music. I was already doing that, but more of that, you know, reading, connecting with my family. That was something that I was missing just because, you know what I realized with all these quote unquote bad habits is like they come in twos, you know what I mean? So if you go out, right, you go clubbing, right? You might go there for the chicks, but just because of the chicks, now you gotta start drinking because you guys are up at 2, 3 in the morning. Then because of that, you get hangover, then you can't train. It's like it's all connected, you know. And I think, I really believe that they're doing that just to weaken you, you know, and to take your will away. At the end of the day, as a man and as a human being, that's what you have, your will. That's the only thing that can really control, like your thoughts and your will. And when you get weakened by these pleasures, it's way, 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 way harder to do stuff that you want to do. Like, there was one time I was in Rolling Loud, man. We were drinking and smoking so much, and I had to go because I always have these challenges. But I had to go. I had to dance in the morning, you know, to sharpen my skills. And man, I'm telling you guys, it was way harder, man, to do when I was fucking hangover. It's not even close, you know what I mean? And I'm not advocating not to do it, not to have any fun in life. I think there's a time for everything, you know. You gotta learn the 80-20 principle, you know what I mean? Which is something that is in everywhere in life. The 80-20 principle, y'all go check it out. I'll probably have a video about that. But there's a time for everything, you know? Like, just reward yourself with pleasure. Just don't chase pleasure without thinking, without no motive. Always reward yourself with pleasure. Be like, okay, you know, I did this, I did that. Okay, maybe we can go watch some movies. Or okay, I can take my girl out. Or okay, I can, you know, have something that is rewarding while when you do something that, you know, when you push yourself at the end of the day, because the goal is to be better, to be the best version of yourself at the end of the day. That's the goal with life, you know. Being happy and all that, I think, comes when you're the best version of yourself. You can't be the best version of yourself and unhappy and depressed. That doesn't make sense to me. You know, that's not the best version of yourself. I think that's the goal. You know, I believe that's the goal with us troopers, and we are the chosen ones. I believe that we are the few chosen ones that know this, and you know, can impact people without being too much in the face. I believe it by doing in action. You know, by showing with action. That's how we all learn. Y'all see when y'all kids, right? Your parents might tell you something, oh, don't do this and that, that, that. Then you see your parent do the same thing. What you doing now, man? I just see my mama do that the whole time. She's like, don't come late. And she be always running late, man. I love my mama though, but that was just funny. So that's the thing. That's how I believe our goal and our mission is to, you know, get purified and be the light on this world, because there is so much darkness. There's so much things that's trying to distract us from our purpose and take away our will. So these are gonna be the Trooper Talks. Welcome to the first episode. Is your man, Young Chisto, and I'm gonna see you to the next one, man. Subscribe if you haven't too, and yeah, man, we have a lot to unpack.